My girlfriend texted me at 6:45 p.m. Don't freak out, but I'm sharing a hotel room with my coworker tonight just to save money. It's totally professional. I stared at the screen, read it twice, and smiled without drama. My reply was simple: great. Then you don't need my place anymore. No long angry paragraphs, no begging, no jealous paragraphs, just calm finality. I knew exactly what that message meant, and I wasn't about to sit around waiting for the inevitable. Before I continue, I want you to subscribe to this channel or go into 1,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. Now back to the story. While she probably expected me to argue, to beg, or to play the jealous boyfriend, I quietly stood up from the couch, turned off the oven where dinner had been simmering, and walked straight to the bedroom. That was the last night she'd ever call my apartment home. Took me 3 hours. Every drawer, every hanger, every bathroom cabinet emptied, folded, and packed into boxes with a kind of meticulous calm. Her clothes, her shoes, her makeup, the hair dryer she loved, the perfume bottles she collected, everything. I even bubble-wrapped her favorite coffee mug and tucked it neatly on top of the pile. 2 suitcases, 8 boxes, and 1 large bag for toiletries. Everything organized with care, as if I were doing her the biggest favor of her life. By 10 p.m., my living room looked like a moving company had been there. I stacked the boxes by the door, rolled the suitcases next to them, and checked my phone. 2 unread texts from her. Don't be weird about this. It's just for work. And please answer me. I don't want you thinking anything stupid. I didn't reply. Instead, I looked up the hotel she'd mentioned weeks ago while talking about late-night project deadlines. Sure enough, the company's regional office often booked rooms there for overnight stays. I typed the address into my GPS, loaded everything into my car, and headed out. The drive took 25 minutes. The hotel was one of those mid-range business places. Modern lobby, glass doors, a steady flow of people checking in and out. I parked at the side entrance, stacked every single box and suitcase neatly on a cart, and wheeled it inside. The front desk clerk looked at me curiously as I checked in. I smiled. Not me, I said. My girlfriend's room. She said she'd be staying here tonight. These are her belongings. Could you please deliver them to her room? Name's Lila. The clerk raised his eyebrows but didn't argue. Hotels see stranger things every day. I left my number just in case and walked back to my car feeling lighter than I had in months. By 11 p.m., I was home again. The locksmith was already there. $200 for a full rekey of the apartment locks and a door code reset. Worth every penny. While he worked, I pulled up my accounts and removed her from Netflix, Spotify, Prime, and the emergency credit card she'd been treating like a Starbucks fund. No more freeloading. Then I ate the dinner I'd abandoned earlier, opened a beer, and put on a movie. For the first time in months, the apartment felt peaceful. At exactly 6:15 a.m., the next morning my phone exploded with a call. It was her. I ignored it. 30 seconds later, another. Then another. By the 6th attempt, I put the phone on silent and tried to sleep. When I finally checked at 8 a.m., I had 37 missed calls, 20 texts, and 3 voicemails. The text started calm. Lila, where are you? Why is my stuff at the front desk? Lila, this isn't funny. Answer me. Lila, did you really pack everything? Then they turned desperate. Lila, open the door. I'm outside. Lila, why did you change the locks? Lila, please, I need to talk to you. This is insane. And then furious. Lila, you can't just throw me out like this. That's illegal. Lila, I'll call the cops if you don't let me in. Lila, you're going to regret this. I scrolled through them while sipping coffee. My only reply, typed and sent, read, you told me you were staying at a hotel. I made it permanent. Please stop disturbing my neighbors. Her call came seconds later. Voice frantic, edged with anger. You're out of your mind. I said one night. You can't just evict me. I said calmly, you don't live here anymore. Your belongings are with you at the hotel you chose. You moved out when you texted me last night. That was for work. It was professional. If your company needed you to stay overnight, they'd cover a room on their dime. Instead, you chose to share one with your coworker. That's a choice, Lila, and I respected it. There was a long pause. Then her voice cracked. Where am I supposed to live? Seems like you already decided that, I said. She screamed, cursed, and hung up. By 10 a.m., the ripple effect had begun. Her mom called, furious. How dare you throw my daughter onto the street? She told me you locked her out without warning. She told me she'd be staying with her coworker at the hotel. I simply delivered her things. She made one mistake, I said later when I told the story. No, she made a choice, and choices come with consequences. Her mother sputtered that I was a monster and hung up. Not 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed again. Mason, the coworker. Bro, that was messed up, dropping her stuff off like that. What was messed up, I said evenly, was inviting my girlfriend to stay the night with you. How's your girlfriend handling it? Silence. Exactly. I continued. See, Lila's iPad was still signed into her messages. I read everything you two planned for last night. Screenshots saved. Want me to forward them to you? Don't do, he started. Then don't call me again. She's yours now, I said. By noon, Lila escalated to the police. She showed up outside my door with an officer claiming I'd illegally evicted her. I opened calmly. The officer asked, Sir, did you remove this woman from the residence without legal notice? I shook my head. She texted me last night saying she'd be staying elsewhere. I packed her belongings and delivered them to that address. She's never been on the lease, never paid rent, and I can provide both the lease and the messages if you'd like. Lila crossed her arms and said, I lived here. My mail comes here. I pulled up the text on my phone. Here's where she said she was staying with her coworker at the hotel. I also had screenshots of their conversation about their evening plans. The officer's eyebrows rose. He turned back to her. Ma'am, it appears you left voluntarily. This is not a criminal matter. It's civil. You'll need to pursue it through housing court if you think you have rights here. But I have nowhere else to go, she pleaded. That's not his responsibility, he said flatly. Then he nodded at me and left. Lila stayed in the hall, eyes wide and lip trembling. How could you do this to me? How could you text me that you were staying in a hotel with another man and expect me to be fine with it? It was a test. I wanted to see if you loved me enough to fight for me. I laughed softly. If you loved me, you wouldn't play games. You failed your own test. You're supposed to chase after me. I'm not a dog, Lila. I don't chase. I replace. Her face froze, then slipped into anger, then panic. Replace me. I already texted Elise. We're having coffee tomorrow. Her jaw dropped. You wouldn't dare. But I would, and I did. She stormed off muttering threats, and I closed the door on her for good. The next morning I woke to another storm on my phone. Over 50 new notifications. Texts from her, voicemails from her mom, even DMs from mutual friends accusing me of being heartless. She had posted a long rant on Facebook. After 3 years together, my boyfriend threw me out overnight, changed the locks, and dumped my things at a hotel. No warning, no compassion. Don't ever trust men who act calm. They're the cruelest. Dozens of her friends chimed in, calling me a narcissist, abusive, manipulative. She framed herself as the victim, painting the hotel stay as a simple business trip. So, I posted one screenshot, just one. Her original text, don't freak out, but I'm sharing a hotel room with my coworker tonight. No commentary, no insults, just the raw truth. Within an hour, her post backfired. Comments turned. People asked why she'd lie. Some pointed out she always played the victim in past breakups, too. By noon, she had deleted the rant entirely. But she wasn't done. That evening, I got an email notification. An attempt to reset the password for my online banking, then my Netflix, then my email. I knew exactly who it was. I called her immediately. She answered on the second ring, voice sharp. Stop locking me out of everything. You don't live here. You don't get access anymore. I said. You owe me after everything I gave you? You lived here, used my accounts, my credit card, and my car insurance. I don't owe you anything except goodbye. Her voice cracked into a scream. You can't just erase me like this. But that's exactly what I was doing. The next day, karma swung harder. Mason's girlfriend messaged me on Instagram. Hey, so I saw the screenshots you posted. I didn't know Lila and Mason were that close. He told me it was just work. I replied politely, sent her a few more receipts, and left it at that. By evening, Mason's relationship was over too. Word spread at their office. Coworkers whispered. Lila became the girl who moved in with a colleague during a business trip. Her boss, who valued professionalism, didn't take it lightly. Within a week, she was reassigned to a smaller client account, stripped of bigger responsibilities. Meanwhile, my life took a sharp upward turn. Coffee with Elise, yes, the same Elise I had casually mentioned to Lila, turned into regular dinners. She respected boundaries, had her own place, and, most importantly, didn't play games. One evening, months later, I bumped into Lila by pure chance. She looked tired, older somehow, like the months had aged her years. She forced a smile and said, "Hey, remember me?" I looked at her calmly. "I remember who you used to be, not who you became." She tried small talk, hinted at catching up sometime. I shook my head. "You made your choice that night and I made mine. I don't look back." Her eyes watered, but I walked away before she could say more. That was the last time I ever saw her. Looking back, I realized something important. The most powerful response to betrayal isn't screaming, crying, or begging. It's quiet action, calm finality, showing someone they don't control your peace. She expected me to fight, to chase, to plead. Instead, I packed her life into boxes, delivered them to the very place she chose over me, and locked the door on her forever. Her furious calls, her desperate messages, her failed attempts to wreck my life. None of it worked, because once you learn to stop giving your energy to someone who doesn't value it, their chaos can't touch you anymore. In the end, her story became the cautionary tale and mine became the example of moving on without hesitation. So, if you ever get a text like the one I got, don't freak out, but I'm sharing a hotel room with my coworker tonight. Remember this, you don't have to beg. You don't have to fight. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is simply to pack their bags.